Everyone, I hope you're all doing fine. As we all know, Flutter has recently made some changes to the widgets and packages we have been using. So one of those is the auto validation in our forms. So the auto validate is not no, is depreciated, and in exchange for it, they have provided us with auto validate mode. So today I'm making this video just to explain what exactly AutoValidate mode is and how we are going to use that now in our forms. So I have this basic structure here. So I haven't added any home to a material app yet. So what I'll do is I'll name this form validation. Okay, so now I will create this stateful widget. I'll call this form validation. Okay, so it's returning a container for now, so I'll just return a scaffold. So this scaffold will have an app bar, and this app bar will have a title. Our title will take in a text. Sorry, T should be caps. Okay, our title will take in a text, and I'll call this text as form validation. So now once I save this, okay, I guess I'll just restart it. Okay, so we have a blank page here. We only have the app bar, which is form validation. So what we are going to do now do is we are going to create our form. So we'll have a body. So our body will be of type form. And before we go ahead with making our form, we'll declare a form key. So what we will do is we'll create a final of type global key, and this will take in a form state. I'm going to call it form key, and this will then point towards the global key again, which will take in the type of form state, and I'll just finish this off. Okay, so we are done with this part for now. So our form will have an auto validation. What I'm going to do right now is I'm only going to create a column inside of a form, and we are only going to use two text fields. So let us just proceed with that. So our form will have a child. I'll set our child to column, and inside the column I'll create two children's. I'll call them text form field. Okay, so you can see that the text form field is here. If I select here, I can type, but it's not looking very good. So let me just, go ahead and make some changes to the decoration and things. First of all, let's add some padding to it. So I'll wrap a padding. I'll wrap this with padding. Okay, so you can see now that is inside the padding. I'll add some decoration. So we'll take the input decoration, and inside input decoration, we'll set a border. I'll set that to outline input border. Okay, you can see that it's inside a box now. So other than that, what I will do is I'll add a label text, and I'll call this input 1. Okay, so you can see input 1 there. So I'll just copy and paste this padding again and create the second one. Okay, so we have input 1, input 1. So let me just make this 2. So we have input 1 and input 2 now. So the next thing that we are going to do here is we are going to create a button, to check the validation. So I'll just put a size box in between. I'll give it a height of, let's say, 50, and then I'll say one elevated button. So this elevated button will take an on pressed and a child. So for the on pressed, I'm going to keep it null for now. And for the child, I will have a text, and this text will say check validation. Okay, so we have this now. Let me just add, a size box on top to bring that down a bit. So I'll give this a height of 100. Okay, so now we have this input 1, input 2, and this check validation. So for now, we don't have any validation right now, so it's not showing us anything. So what we will do is inside the form, we'll declare our key, and that key is going to be the form key that we created earlier. So what we will do now is we will also set the auto validate mode. So the auto validate mode, as you can see, auto validate is no longer allowed. I mean, we can't use it. So the auto validate mode, I will set it to auto validate mode on user interaction. So whenever the user is interacting with the form, only then the auto validate mode will function. So inside the text form field, we will add a validator. So the validator will take in a value, and what this is going to do is it's going to return a function as per a if else statement. So we will say if value is empty, this is going to return us a text, and the text will be please enter something. Let me just finish this off. Uh, it's giving me some error. Let me just check why. Okay, it's already returning. So other than that, what it's going to do is this is going to return as a null. So else this will return null. Let me just put a space. Okay, so else this is going to return a null. So now if we see, if we click here, see nothing is happening right now. So nothing is happening because we haven't added any functionality to check the validation. But what we will do right now is we'll take this validator, we'll just copy this from here and paste inside this as well. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are also going to use our auto validate mode inside the text field. So we will say auto validate mode on user interaction. So I'll just copy this from here and paste it here as well. So let me just save this. See, nothing is happening, because we are not doing any validation right now. We're not checking if something is happening or not. So let's go ahead to our onPressed function on our elevated butter to put in the validation. So what we will do now is, see, if you want this to work all the time, what you will need to do is you will need to set the auto validate mode to always. So let me just show that to you. I'll set it to always. Okay, you see, once I set it to always, it will keep showing this until and unless I enter something. So you can either use the auto validate mode dot always, but it doesn't look very good because what happens is whenever you are creating a form, whenever a customer is typing something, you see all those red errors at all the time. So I don't like it, but if you want, if in any of your app it works in this way, you want it to work this way, you can definitely go for the always mode. So let me just go ahead and remove this dot always and get back to on user interaction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a function. I'm going to create that function to check for the validation. So I'll name this check validation. And what this is going to do is this is going to take in an input in the form of global key. And this global key will be from form state. And what this would do is this would take in the form key. So now what I will do is I will check if our form key in the current state is validated. If it's validated, I'm going to print validated. Else, I'm going to print not validated. So the print would be inside our console. I'm not printing anywhere on the screen. Okay, so we are done with this now. So let us go ahead and implement this function inside our check validation here. So inside the check validation, inside our onPressed here. So inside the onPressed, I'll implement this function check validation, and this function needs an input. So that's of type form key, and our form key is already declared here. As you can see, we have already declared our form key right here inside the form. So we don't need to do anything. So let me just save this. Let me hot restart my app. Okay, you can see there's nothing here. So now if I click on check validation, it says not validated, and it also gives us an error here. So let me once again hot restart it. Okay, so now I will type some input here. I will click on check validation. It's still not validated because we haven't entered anything here. So let me once again hot restart it. So I click on both the things. I click on check validation and now you can see it's validated. So this is exactly how we are going to use the auto validate mode in our forms now. So I hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like to do me. And also, please subscribe to my channel and keep supporting. Thank you all and have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.